Andrew was never any trouble. Not at school, not at home. I guess I was lucky. I didn't have the worries the other mothers had in the neighborhood. Andrew didn't waste his time with games and video arcades and stuff like that. You see that? Andrew did that. He loved to paint. If he had a date, he'd take the girl to a museum. He just loved studying the artwork. He could have had an art scholarship if he wanted. It happened about 7 o'clock in the evening. It was barely dark. Andrew was on his way to see a friend, a buddy from college that he hadn't seen for a while. The officers told me that the other driver ran the light at the intersection. He hit Andy's car on the driver's side, just smashed it all up. Andy never had a chance. We found out that the other person had been a prior offender. He had been stopped before. Oh, yeah. Arrested 3 times for driving under the influence. And what was his explanation? I just had a few drinks. It must have been mechanical failure. Mechanical failure? It was human failure.
Alcohol and other types of drugs are all around us. We take pills for headaches, pills to pep us up, pills to calm us down, pills to treat health problems. In addition to medications, many people try to escape the tensions of daily life by using products like these. Alcohol is consumed at parties, at dinner, on the beach, at picnics, most anywhere people gather to socialize. But regardless of where, why, or how people get high, using alcohol or other drugs and then driving is a risk that's never worth taking. It's called DUI, driving under the influence. 50% of the driving public will be involved in an alcohol-related crash at some time in their lives. And 1 out of every 5 fatal car crashes occurs as a result of one of the driver's use of alcohol and/or other drugs. For most of us, the use of alcohol is usually part of some kind of social situation.
Careful with it. You're not as young as you used to be. Now who's going to take this chair? Anybody? You watch yourself.
Watch that drop.
Okay, I got it. Put that in the living room.
I got it. Oh, sorta. Deborah, we're out of fuel. Anybody want to make a run?
Mark, can you go get some beer? I'm buried under these boxes.
Sure, no problem. I got to return the truck anyway. Dave, you want to follow me?
Yeah, sure, bud. Let's go.
How do you know if you got a hernia?
Man, I was doing all the
wait for
lifting.
me, guys. Don't leave me
Come on,
alone.
let's go. Let's roll.
As incredible as it seems, during the next 12 months, 1 out of every 5 licensed drivers will drive while intoxicated.
What do you think of the pickup in this truck?
Ain't nothing like my Fiat.
Your Fiat. What, to fix it again, Tony?
Oh, we're just gonna sit here and talk about my car.
Son? Oh, boy, you're a real nice guy.
Look out!
Did you see that guy?
Oh, man.
Think he saw us?
He saw it. It's a good thing we're not bombed.
Turn left, hold to the curb. Don't look behind your friend.
Mark may not think the beer affected his driving, but he's wrong. The driving ability of a person weighing 160 pounds can be impaired after as little as 1 drink an hour.
1, 2. This is ridiculous. I hardly drank anything.
Laws vary from state to state, and the current legal limit for a driver's blood alcohol content ranges from 0.05 to 0.1%. It's possible to reach 0.08% after as few as 2 drinks per hour. After having 3 drinks in a period of 1 hour, a driver would test as legally intoxicated in most states. That's regardless of the type of alcoholic beverage consumed. In many states, drivers who refuse to take a chemical test to determine their blood alcohol level may have their license suspended on the spot. In addition, they may have to serve time in jail.
Okay, so maybe I had a couple of beers. It was only beer.
Mark was one of the fortunate ones. Let's consider what might have happened. Alcohol can play tricks on your mind and make you feel you're in control when you're not. Physical coordination and the ability to react quickly and correctly is vital to safe driving. Mark and his passenger could have suffered major consequences as a result of his impairment. Driving under the influence is a deadly form of gambling, and the odds are heavily against the impaired driver. Of all the drinking drivers who were involved in fatal crashes, nearly 3/4 had never been arrested for driving under the influence. Yet as potentially dangerous as alcohol is for drivers, using other drugs in combination with alcohol compounds the danger. A familiar ritual. Rick and Lonnie stopped to have a few drinks after work. It never occurred to Rick that he was in no shape to drive. He felt fine.
I can get you some of this if you want. It's the best stuff I ever smoked.
No, not for me, dude. I'm already pretty buzzed.
A recent study has shown that among 20 to 30-year-olds, half of all marijuana users combine its use with alcohol. Although he didn't recognize it, Rick's ability to drive was further impaired by smoking the marijuana.
Yo, Rick, why don't you let me drive, man?
Get real.
In this study, a volunteer has smoked a marijuana cigarette and is about to perform a divided attention task exercise. In front of the person to be tested are 5 video monitors. The monitor in the middle has a fixed marker at the center of its screen. There's also an arrow, which can be moved to the right and to the left. The volunteer has been told to try and keep the arrow centered as closely as possible on the marker by using a rotary control knob. At the same time, they're shown a series of numbers on each of the other 4 screens. When the number 2 appears on any screen, they're supposed to turn it off by pressing a button that corresponds to the position of the 2 on the screen. When the volunteers have had marijuana, they perform very poorly. They may look at the number 2 and simply not respond. They don't seem to be paying attention to what they're seeing with their eyes. That test showed the results of using only marijuana. The following test demonstrates what happens when you combine the use of marijuana and alcohol, like Rick did. Here, a volunteer drinks a measured amount of alcohol and then smokes marijuana. Before taking the alcohol and marijuana, the volunteer performed a driving test on this simulator, which measured her coordination and reaction time. The driving simulator duplicates many of the situations a driver may encounter out on the road. The results show how significantly the combined use of marijuana and alcohol can affect a driver's perception of time and distance. Like the test driver, Rick became even more disoriented from the combination of drugs. Unlike the test driver, he went out on a real road. Unfortunately, what Rick did was not done in a simulator.
Dude, I don't know how you can drive, man.
Marijuana is quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, affecting the central nervous system. Time becomes distorted. Seconds seem like minutes. The user can become fixated on a single object or thought to the exclusion of everything else. This feeling usually lasts for a couple of hours, but the smoker's judgment and reaction time can be affected for up to 24 hours. When narcotic use is suspected, the tests administered are similar to those in the alcohol sobriety test, but the officers are looking for responses induced by drugs other than alcohol. For example, the driver may be asked to estimate how much time has passed. Different drugs cause different reactions in the user. The marijuana user is usually slower to react and unable to concentrate on more than one thing at a time. In contrast, users of cocaine or crack are inclined to overreact and exhibit aggressiveness. Drivers under the influence of these drugs tend to drive at high speeds, cutting in front of other cars, changing lanes suddenly, and generally taking unnecessary risks. Similar behavior is often shown by drivers using methamphetamines and ice. However, it is the users of PCP who are the most erratic. They often exhibit a hostile attitude, and their visual perception is affected. Users often become paranoid and violent. Almost anything can happen while driving under the influence of PCP. Drivers who go out on the road after using alcohol or other drugs have decided to play a risky game, a game that puts their lives and the lives of others at stake. Law enforcement agencies have new tools to keep drug-using drivers off the road. Sobriety checkpoints are one way to find and arrest these illegal risk-takers. Recent roadside surveys in Minnesota revealed that 1 out of every 24 drivers tested after midnight was driving under the influence. As unbelievable as that seems, only 10 years earlier, 1 in every 10 drivers tested was determined to be driving under the influence.
What do I have to do?
Tough new laws have helped to make the difference, such as laws which allow an officer to take immediate action when faced with someone who appears to be driving under the influence.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just tired.
I think you've had a little bit too much to drink, and I'm going to be taking it.
In many states, a driver's license may be suspended at the time of arrest if the driver fails or refuses to take a chemical test to determine blood alcohol level.
What about my car, man?
The use of these laws has also resulted in a reduction in the number of crashes and repeat violations. The odds are becoming greater and greater that if you decide to drink and drive, you will be caught. In some Southern California counties, motorists who have been arrested for driving under the influence may be ordered by the courts to participate in a dramatically innovative deterrent program. They are required to go to the county coroner's office, where they witness the autopsy of someone who died in a DUI-related crash. That is, a crash which involved alcohol and/or other drugs. Observing the grim results of irresponsible behavior behind the wheel can be a powerful motivator not to make the same mistake again.
Man, that could have been me. Duty.
I sure don't want to end up like that. Drinking and driving is not worth it.
There have been few repeat offenses by drivers who've attended these presentations. The purpose is to show them the possible consequences if they use alcohol or other drugs and then drive. The message is, if you drink, don't drive. There are things you can do to avoid finding yourself in a situation where you have to drink and drive. The designated driver program has been very successful in reducing DUI offenses. If you're going out with a group, one person in the group is selected as the designated driver for the evening. They agree not to drink, guaranteeing that everyone will have a safe ride home.
Lisa, can I get you a drink?
Oh, not tonight. I'm the designated driver, remember?
That's right, I almost forgot.
It's getting late, Steve. We better be going home, okay?
Not even midnight.
Please. Oh, come on.
No one's even left. Bob, can I get you another drink?
Oh, no thanks, I'm fine.
You sure?
Steve, we're leaving anyway.
Well, how about letting us drop you off then?
Thanks a lot, but we've arranged for our daughter to come and pick us up.
Nancy's on her way now.
You don't look too drunk to drive, Bob.
Well, we figured there'd be drinking at the party, so we just made arrangements for a safe ride home.
So, how about if you let us drop you off? I mean, like I said, I am the designated driver.
Steve, why don't you take Lisa up on that offer? You're in no shape to drive home safe.
Bob's right. Maybe we should ride home with them.
Okay, let's do it. Just don't tell my mother, all right?
The designated driver program guarantees that there will be at least one safe, sober driver when it's time to go home. It's a program that works, and it can work for you too. According to statistics, over 25,000 deaths occur each year because of alcohol-impaired drivers. One person every minute is injured in an alcohol or other drug-related collision. Please, don't become a statistic.